everyone, I'm Kelly with the Suburban Soapbox, and today we are making gazpacho. This is the chilled tomato soup that's super popular. It's zesty and tangy, and I leave mine chunky, and you're gonna see why. So to make your gazpacho, you're going to need basically a full produce stand. So I have an orange bell pepper, a cucumber, jalapenos, some lime, red onion, plum tomatoes, and then for the soup part of your gazpacho, I have tomato juice, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and then we're going to garnish with some cilantro. Also seasoning, salt and pepper. So to start your gazpacho, we're going to finely chop all of our vegetables. And a traditional gazpacho is creamy and blended together in a food processor. I'm leaving mine chunky, and this is why. I like a chunky gazpacho because I feel like I am left a little more full than if I were just to eat like a pureed gazpacho. Plus, I found a gazpacho at Trader Joe's many years ago, and it was chunky, and I loved it. And that is my inspiration for this gazpacho recipe. So all of you gazpacho purists, if you want to make this gazpacho and put it in your blender or your Ninja or your food processor and give it a whirl, you certainly can do that. I like the chunk. I also like that it's super easy to make. So we're going to put our bell pepper in the bowl. Now I'm cutting up the cucumber. And for this recipe, I like to use an English cucumber. So the English cucumber is the type of cucumber that you find at the grocery store that comes in the plastic. So it's always covered in plastic. It doesn't have the waxy coating that a lot of the regular cucumbers have. And it's also seedless. So there's some seeds in there, but you don't have to scoop them out because they're tiny and you can actually eat them and digest them. If you're going to use a regular cucumber, you're going to want to scoop out the seeds and also peel it a little bit because the skin is a little harder to digest. All right, so I'm going to dice up a jalapeno, and depending on how spicy you want this, you can put one jalapeno in, you can put 2 jalapenos, you can leave the seeds and the white veins in there. That's where all the heat is, in the seeds. I don't want it too spicy because not everybody in my family wants it to be super spicy, so I'm going to cut those out. And you want to mince this up really fine. I remember the Trader Joe's gazpacho was actually seemed kind of tame when you took that first bite, and then as you ate more and more of it, it was actually really spicy. So I try to make it almost exactly the way that it used to be because I loved it so much. It's great for summer. You can actually make a big batch and store this in the refrigerator. So now I'm gonna finely dice some red onion, and you only need a little bit of the red onion. You don't need a ton of red onion in this. So I'm just gonna finely dice it. Pop that in. Now the plum tomatoes. So I just like to cut them into like little cubes. You wanna cut off the stem end. And if you want, you can remove the seeds, but you don't have to do that. I actually like some of the seeds in there. A lot of people scoop out the entire center of the plum tomato. I feel like that's kind of wasteful. So I'm trying to use the whole thing. And you want 6 plum tomatoes. Now that everything's chopped up, we are going to flavor our gazpacho. So I'm going to add the zest and juice of 1 lime. If you like things extra citrusy, I highly recommend adding a second lime. Orange juice works really well for this as well. If you want some tartness, you can add some lemon. Really, anything works if you can get away from the idea of you're trying to make a very traditional gazpacho. This is just a simple and refreshing take on gazpacho. You want to catch any seeds, get all that lime juice in there. And now I'm going to chop up some cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley just to get that color. Cilantro is my favorite thing ever, and it goes so well with the fresh tomatoes and the lime juice. And so that's what I'm throwing in there. So now we're going to add the tomato juice, and you want about 4 cups of tomato juice. I'm just gonna eyeball 4 cups. And I used a low sodium tomato juice here because we're gonna flavor it with some Worcestershire sauce and hot sauce, and they both have sodium, and then season it with salt and pepper. So I just don't wanna like over salt it. Now I'm gonna add the apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar because it's not like just straight vinegar. It has some health benefits to it, and it has a little sweetness. And then I'm going to add the Worcestershire sauce. You just need a little splash of that. And some hot sauce. And last, salt and pepper. So we're just gonna sprinkle that in there. And you really want to taste it before you put in too much salt. And now I'm just going to give it a stir. Stir it all up. It looks so refreshing, and the smell is just incredible. It smells fresh. I like to keep this in the refrigerator so it's chilled. It's great when it's like 90 million degrees outside and you don't want to cook. If you want it to be more soupy, you can add some more tomato juice. If you want to blend half of this and then throw it back into the pot, and then you still have that chunkiness, but you also have more of that smoothness of a traditional gazpacho, you can do that as well. Again, there's no rules. You can play around in the kitchen as much as you want. That's it. I'm gonna plate this up and I'm gonna start eating. Okay, so I am digging in to my gazpacho. And I like to take a lot of veggies, but I also like some of the soup part. And again, you can season this to taste. You can add more citrus if you'd like to add more citrus. You can add some crushed red pepper, whatever you want. Just taste it and be like, it needs. This is so tangy and fresh and crunchy. It's actually refreshing to eat. Simple and amazing. If you like this recipe, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. For more easy recipes, visit thesuburbansoapbox.com. Thanks again.